Every time towards the end of the year, most people would say, New Year, new me. I want to start fresh and have a New Year's resolution to become better than before. But the truth is that you are the same old you, ain't it? Now, what exactly is a New Year's resolution? Well, in my opinion, a New Year's resolution is to reflect and to resolve. Reflect on what you did in the previous years. Like, did you grow at all as a person? I mean, your age does, but have you actually became more matured, or have you accomplished something that you set for? If not, then how are you gonna resolve all the problems that you previously had? Whether you want to change your job and environment, your bad habits, and so on. What not to do is by just following the hype. Like most people post on Instagram those cringy ass captions 1/365 for maybe about a week and it stopped. It's just a short burst of dopamine that's only gonna get you that far before being a lazy ass bitch again and sitting on your couch all day and chill on your bed. Which comes to my second point, replan. So let's say that you've tried starting up a business and it fails. What are you gonna do? Well, in order to solve the problems, you gotta replan, evaluate the business, re-strategize in order for your business to grow again. Now, me personally think that replanning is all about, analyzing what went wrong in the first place and making sure that you'll never repeat the same mistakes again. What you shouldn't do is replan just because you failed at something, because that's basically like giving up. Because some plans takes much longer to achieve with lots of practice, sacrifice, dedication to your craft. I guess everyone should really give yourselves a little bit more time to grow as a person before you start to head to another direction, start something new again, fail and then give up, and then just basically going through the cycle on and on again. Now, after you replan your structure, the next step is to execute, specifically from where you left off. I know it's kind of frustrating that all the problems previously is sort of piled up and you have to make sure it heads in the right direction again. I mean, I guess we've all been there. We know that it's easier to give up and just start over, right? But what happened is already in the past. You can't really change the fact that you failed in a certain way. What you have is the power to correct it in the present moment. So do it first and think later. Well, I know it's gonna cause some disagreements, but remember how I said to replan and whatsoever? Yes, that is correct, but the plan that you have right now might not be the best plan a year later or maybe even tomorrow. Things and situations are gonna change all the time. So instead of worrying and waiting for the perfect plan before you start making a move, I feel like execution is more important than perfection. Well, speaking from a perfectionist myself, I know the fear, the worry that you want to have the perfect plan before you start to do something because you might scared it might fail, you're gonna waste your time, your effort and everything. But the more you do, the better you get. And I assume that everyone knows this theory, but somehow you might still try to prepare a perfect blueprint before you start something. So for example, I started my video production business a couple months ago and I already had my first client back then. But right now, I don't have any clients because situations change, clients might have no money and all that. But I didn't wait for me to have a lot of clients before actually building my shit, and I executed to build my portfolio, my profile, my branding, social media. So when the client actually comes into place, I have things to show them and pitch to them, and I'm well prepared just because I execute. And now comes to my next point, which is change. So change only when you've tried hard enough, gave yourself enough time, but don't succeed. Now, sometimes the reality is harsh and you gotta be a pretty logical person and move on if things don't really work out. Just imagine if you stay at one place for too long, there might be other opportunities that you missed just because you are too stubborn to move on. Well, for example, I first studied mass communication because I felt like, it would help me to grow my social skills, and I was already learning videography by myself, so I thought that mass communication can make me become a more wholesome person that have more knowledge, this and that. But the thing is, I never really enjoyed mass communication study-wise. I mean, I am sort of mass communicating with you guys right now, and that's when, in the beginning of my second year in mass communication, I've decided that enough is enough, and I dropped out from that course, and sooner or later I went into film school, which is what I enjoyed the most. And even though I wasted a year and probably 30k to my mom just paid, but I genuinely felt like that is one of the best decisions that I've made. Like, there's no regrets at all, because I don't want to spend another year in mass communication doing theory stuff and listening to lectures and just be miserable. But then you have to see your circumstances. If given the chance and luxury to change, you should change if you think that's what's best for you. So to summarize today's video, your New Year's resolution shouldn't be like a short-term hype thing. You're first gonna reflect yourself, find the problem, find a solution, and resolve it. Then you also gotta replan your structure. Imagine there's a structure right here. You throw away the things that didn't work for you, you get new things that would work for you, and you organize them accordingly to a better structure. And not to mention, just execute from where you left off. Lastly, don't be afraid to make a change if things didn't work out. And if this video helped to make things, sort of like clearer for you, do subscribe and give me a thumbs up, and I'll see you guys again. Bye.